A lot of guys hurt in that locker room. I hurt for them. I hurt because they invested. And they came up short. I don't know if we necessarily got beat, but we came up short. And I don't mean that as a slight to Baylor. Matt's done an incredible job here. They played with a ton of confidence. They didn't play very well, but they found a way to win. And, you know, they got a lot of moxie. They got some guys that have been through some battles, veterans on both sides. But our kids really competed. They competed. We had a great last week and a half preparation for this game. Felt good about it coming in. I know we were 18, 19-point underdog and knew the people didn't give us much a chance. But I really felt good about this game coming in. And so I just hurt for our guys. You know, I hurt for them. Told them after the game, I'm proud of them, and I mean that. Proud of them. It's not okay to lose, but I'm proud of them. I appreciate them. I love them. You know, they're buying in. We lost a bunch of guys during the game. Staley was hurt early in the week. Tried to give it a go, but he couldn't go in pregame. And then we lost, you know, multiple guys during the course of that game. And thought guys that hadn't played very much came in, stepped up. Thought it was a tremendous defensive effort. I mean, they gave us a chance. I thought that was the story of the game. We had 8 sacks, 10 TFLs, had a goal line stand, a forced fumble, forced a few fumbles. Special teams, that kickoff return was huge. You know, we had the fumble recovery on the punt. I thought our kickoff team and our punt coverage was really, really good. And then offense, it was just a struggle. I mean, they whipped us up front. I mean, we can sit here and we can talk about it and all we want, but they just, you know, they had their way with us up front. We had multiple drops. I think I think we had 5, and 3 of them would have been for first downs. 2 of them would have swung the field position battle, but it was a struggle. You know, we put a lot of pressure on the quarterback when we struggled to run the ball, and you know, and it wasn't anything special they were doing. They kind of played what they did, and they whipped us, and that's what it was. So with that, I'll answer questions.
You know, without Evan, your confidence level in Casey.
Yeah, you know, he's performed well, and that's my fault. We got people that are kind of in charge of looking at the clock, but at the end of the day, it's my fault. I'm sitting there worrying about how we're going to use our timeouts, how we're going to kick off, and I didn't see the clock, so that's on me. That's on me, and he hit the first one and felt good about it, and we had a late ball get off. They got good push, and they've done a good job. I guess they've blocked 9 kicks now in 12 games. I mean, we knew what they were going to do. They put 3 guys down there, and it's about 900 pounds, and they get pushed. And what happens? Our play side guard was laid off the ball, and they got pushed, and he got it. But I got a lot of confidence in him. Any pressure situation we put him in practice, and he's came through. Now, I think he kicked off one time against Baylor last year, but this was the first time that he'd been in a football game, period. You know, so he played football in high school, and so, but I've got confidence in him.
Is that the best you've seen from your defense this year?
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. They kept us in it, and I thought our defensive line, you know, we just played really hard. We played hard on offense, just not very good, and some of that's, I mean, what we're down to. I mean, but yeah, I thought especially our defensive line. I mean, they really put pressure on Charlie all night, and they made some contested catches. They're good at wideout. You know, obviously the one was kind of the backbreaker there at the end of the game. It was, you know, I got to see it. I didn't see how it landed. I know there's some pushing and shoving. I just got to look before I speak about it.
Neal, what is the chain of communication supposed to be?
Yeah, I told you, Alex. You can ask a bunch of questions. I told you it was my fault. So we put a bunch of blame. I mean, bottom line, I'm the head coach. My fault.
You know, schematically, your defense was a lot different today. I mean, look at you're playing with that almost a linebacker.
Yeah, well, we're about out of linebackers. You know what I mean? So it's kind of out of necessity. And then we lost Guzman, who was playing that kind of third safety, and then we were really kind of in base, and we're kind of moving Jake Long around, trying to teach him right in the middle of the game. I mean, if you look at it from an injury standpoint, we lose Barrett, we lose Simmons, we lose Kennedy. and really we had a bunch of things for Kennedy. We showed some of that Wildcat stuff early. We held a bunch of it. We were hoping in the second half, and lost him. Sid Timmons, and then Wheaton got banged up, and then defensively Norwood with the penalty, and with those Guzman. We don't have very many scholarship safeties anyway, and so credit to, I thought, Dick and the defense staff really kind of scrambled and got us. Our kids played hard, but we got us in some things schematically that gave us a chance.
Some of the offensive line struggles, does that play into some of the illegal procedure calls? Are they pressing, do you feel like?
Yeah, I'll have to go. One of them was on the wide out. I'm not sure all those are correct. I got to go back and look. I don't know until I see them. I can't speak on them. But I mean, we just got beat. I mean, we can sit up here and talk all we want. I mean, you can watch the game. There's some things. I mean, we're struggling for a reason. I mean, we got some deficiencies. We try to hide them. We got to do a better job as coaches. I mean, I've said that the whole time. But they've got 3 down linemen that are really good. They're really good. And if you look at it, everybody they played had trouble against them. But
first snap, Wildcat snap just looked like a mechanical. The second one, they weren't.
no, they're both. Neither one of them weren't even supposed to be snapped yet.
Yeah.
They weren't even supposed to be snapped. So I can't explain that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't. Neither one of them had been asked for the ball, I don't believe, and so I don't know how many lost yardage. We killed a red zone when we were in there the first drive of the second half. We're inside the 10. It's first and goal, right? Hard to overcome that.
How much does it tie your hands when you can't put your backup Chase in after plays like that?
Yeah. I mean, it does. It does. But here's the deal, man. We had a chance to win the game. Defensively played well enough. Offensively, we had 3rd and 2, and we went for a home run, and the play was there. We didn't execute very well, but the play was there. Felt like that we needed to be aggressive and win. You know, we went for it on 4th down. Casey kicked the ball really good there in pregame, so that's why I felt really confident in him tying it up. And you know, it is what it is.
Neal, this kind of felt like one of those games where maybe a young team that doesn't quite know how to get over the finish line yet. You think that's a fair assessment of this?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to. You got to go back and kind of watch it and kind of assess. I think both teams made a lot of mistakes in this game. You know, I don't think it was a pretty football game. It was probably played into our hands, really. It was probably ugly at times, probably to watch. But here's what I think. Okay, so they're number 12 in the country. They're undefeated. They're in year 3 of a really good turnaround. I don't think their kids ever lost faith. They have a lot of confidence in their ability. I think it goes back to their quarterback because he's a tough kid and he competes. And we're in year 1 here. And I think what this showed is we came on the road in a hostile environment on Halloween, national TV, coming off a putrid half of football at Oklahoma. And we lost 3 in a row. And I think what you saw was a group of kids that laid it on the line and invested, okay, and fought. And at the end of the deal, we just ran out of time. We didn't necessarily get beat. We just ran out of time. And now what we've got to take is we've got to take that same strain, the same effort we played, the same physicality we play, especially on the defensive side and on special teams. All right, and then we've got to continue to do that and find ways to give ourselves the ability to get the ball in the end zone offensively. And so we played good enough to win on special teams, played good enough to win on defense, and offensively we did.
You mentioned that the Oklahoma game and the extra time that the focus was on you all getting better. That obviously guys bought in to this, sticking it out and doing this. Was that part of your message that you kind of kept to yourself, kept with them? How did you? No,
kind of what I said the other day in the press conference. We're talking about we just had to focus on getting better. To me, it's getting better. I knew if we continued this process of getting better, we just trusted what we were doing. If we focused on the task at hand and didn't get carried away, all right, on being result oriented, if we just focused on position meetings, team meetings, periods of practice, carried it in, did our preparation, I knew we'd have a chance to win the game. And we did. And we'll have a chance to win the last. Every game that we play, we'll have a chance. We do those things. All right. So I never for one second thought that our kids wouldn't answer the bell. Every time they've had any adversity, they've answered. And that's why I hurt for them. You know, as a coach, when guys lay it on the line, we got most of them kids, we got guys that are hurting in that locker room. And they're hurting because they invested. And they're all in on what we're doing. And some of the belief that happened tonight, it'll pay off down the road. It'll pay off at some point this season. It's going to pay off in years to come. Anybody else?
Any question? Third quarter, Kendall comes out, I think 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7. Anything at halftime, or just
Nah, we just
trying to
said-
keep them dialed in?
No, we just said we're going to come out and throw the football. You know, I don't even know how many times we tried to run the second half. We made the decision at half. We were just going to come out and throw it. We were getting spread sets and throw it. We felt like we had an opportunity to hit a home run, and George came in there and did it. Made a great play, and it was a great throw. And they changed how they were playing us after that. But that was really coming out of halftime. Who had the last one?
Okay, that's it. Thanks, Coach.
Okay. All right.